Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Who's here? Chevy! I plead the fifth. What's up? Jeff Bascone is here. What's up? I plead the fifth 3.0. I guess his account keeps getting deleted. Don DeBomb, Jennifer Hill, Joe W. What is going on? Everybody hit the like button, the thumbs up right down there. Just hit this like button. I'm kind of consumed in this right now. That's why I didn't start the broadcast how I typically do. So I wanted you guys to jump into this with me a little bit. Hold on one second. But I want you guys to jump into this with me right now because this is so interesting, because we're seeing something shift inside of the legal system. Is that now there's exposure. Now people can see what is going on because we can hear it, and sometimes we can even see it on video. And so I was really actually kind of sorry about that. Sorry. It won't go away. I'm sorry. But I wanted to watch this with you guys, and I watched this already, and I just got to the very end of it when I had to start this broadcast. I'm sorry, I was a little bit behind. I apologize. Everybody hit the like button. Let's get over to X. Let's get over to X, you guys. Let's get over to the X platform, because the more people who watch from X, and you can still have the conversation over there in X. Let me give you the link for X where you can play along, and there's a chat. There's a particular link to get to the chat. So let me give that to you guys. Boom. There it is. Let me put that inside there. And then I'm going to start this video right back here, because where it really gets going is right about here.
Oh. The police officers have the police reports. I don't have them. Okay.
The second thing is, as
I drove past the. Will I be arrested
on your case in the state of Arizona? All right. Thanks for letting us know. We'll look into that on our end. And then, sir, have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No, sir.
Next.
Okay.
I must inform you, the state of Arizona has charged you with a violation of the law. Specifically, they've alleged you violated Arizona Revised Statute Title 13, Section 2810, subsection A2. That's interfering with judicial.
So if you don't know, this guy Lane Myers is being charged with violating a protective order against, I think, the same person who's trying him. But listen to this.
Failure to comply with the court order is a class 1 misdemeanor, maximum possible penalty $2,500 fine plus additional surcharges up to 6 months in jail, 3 years probation. I don't know if the state will seek the maximum penalty. That is the maximum allowed by law. Because you've been charged with that class 1 misdemeanor, you'd have to receive prior permission from the court before you leave the state of Arizona. But before we go any further, I do want to review some of your constitutional rights, okay?
Please do, because they're important.
So you have the right to plead not guilty, and I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf at this time.
Thank you.
You also have the right to a trial, and you have the right to the assistance of an attorney at all court proceedings. You further have the right to remain silent, and you are currently presumed to be innocent, unless or until the state can prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And even then, even if found guilty at trial, you would still have a right to an appeal. However, you would lose that right to an appeal if you were to cause your own sentencing to be delayed more than 90 days past any conviction. Now, you further have the right and the responsibility to be present for all future court proceedings. If you fail to appear for any court hearing, a couple things could happen. First is that the proceeding could be held in your absence, including even the trial. Second thing that could happen is that a warrant would issue for your arrest. You'd be charged warrant fees. Could be charged with another misdemeanor offense called failure to appear. So it is your responsibility to keep your current address and contact info updated with the court. That's how we'll let you know what's going on in your case and when your next court date is. So as I indicated, you do have a right to an attorney. In some cases, you'd have the right for the court to appoint you one, but only if the state is seeking to deprive you of your liberty. Right. So this time I'm going to ask the state prosecutor.
Listen to this, but only you are entitled to a state-appointed attorney, but only if the state is going to deprive you of your liberty. There's no victim. No one's been hurt. No one's been damaged. There's no money lost. There's no restitution due. Some feelings are hurt.
Are the state seeking jail or supervised probation in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, they are seeking jail time to put him in jail.
All right. And so, sir, again, I noticed you had filed the notice of appearance that you would like to proceed pro se, or since the state is seeking to potentially deprive you of your liberty, you are entitled
They've already done that, actually.
So
by charging me.
So again,
I drove past the, will I be arrested on my way out because I drove past 30 feet past the law school down Speedway today? We need to get to the constitutional issue of these charges. We can't even arraign me without probable
Your
cause.
Honor, I would implore you to.
I would implore her to not interrupt.
Again,
Is she objecting or is she talking over me?
Yeah, so we can't have people talking over each other because we are
It's
recording.
my
everything.
turn to talk.
Right, and so then. Mr.
So I
Myers,
drove
you
past
have
30 feet on the
several
way there, and I'm gonna
questions.
drive past 60 feet on the way home. Will I be charged? Yes or no?
So, Mr. Myers,
I'm charged with being 150 feet from a protected location in a moving vehicle. So will I be charged on the way home because I drove past on the way here and home? I'm gonna drive past the same location that you're arraigning me for and make a mockery of this whole fucking thing.
Right, and so, Mr. Myers, one, will not use profanity in the court. We will maintain judicial decorum
It's all
in the
good, bro.
courthouse. The second thing is, as a judicial officer, I cannot provide you legal advice. Third thing is, I don't know what the facts of the case are. I need to remain.
We're gonna have an
impartial.
evidentiary hearing next week. Please set one.
All right, so Mr. Myers, again, I don't have any requests in front of me.
Okay, I'll put one in. I'm requesting one verbally, verbal motion.
And so, Mr. Myers, just as I gave you a turn to talk.
Right. Oh, go ahead.
Do not speak over the court because again, we are recording everything. All right, so like I said, I can't provide you legal advice. I don't know what the facts of the case are. So I have formally arraigned you here in the matter. Again, the state was seeking to deprive you of your liberty. You are entitled to an attorney as a matter of right.
I mean, it's so funny. This is a reaction video, so it's so funny how they say the state wants to deprive you of your liberty, but they don't really take into consideration what the deprivation of your liberty does to you as a person, to your family, to your friends, to your life, how much it completely, utterly bankrupts you, and it's financially and the appeal, and there's so much drama and heartache and difficulty going into a jailing system where there are men there to break your will. That's what their job is to do. They believe that they're there to break your will. And so you guys meet me over on X. I'm having a conversation on X. I want you guys to meet me on the X platform, and let's keep listening. But they say it so nonchalantly.
Like I said, I can't provide you legal advice. I don't know what the facts of the case are. So I have formally arraigned you here in the matter. Again, the state was seeking to deprive you of your liberty. You are entitled to an attorney as a matter of right. However, I noticed you filed the notice of appearance saying you like to proceed pro se. Just want to make a clear record. You would not like the court to appoint you any counsel.
I don't need a kangaroo. I don't need one of your fake kangaroo attorneys. No.
Right. And so again, Mr. Myers, if we can maintain decorum in the courtroom.
Like you said, you had 9 years experience when you had 3. My wife actually trained you.
Okay. I don't know what you're referring to, Mr. Myers, but again, we're going to maintain decorum here in the courtroom. So I am your assigned judge. Our next court date, we already set for that status conference on December 5th.
So remember that judge has the power to put you in the dungeon.
Mr. Myers, any other questions or concerns?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Here today.
For sure, for sure. I want to move the motion to compel production as of November 5th. So they like to play games. We have another case 5 months in. They still haven't turned over the evidence. I'm going to tell you right now, Your Honor, I'll file a motion to compel under 15-7 every single day in this case. Because I can tell you right now, the police officers have the police reports. I don't have them, okay? A local reporter went and got the police reports, but I don't have them. I put in a request for them. I put in requests for pretrial interviews. I haven't even got a response. Nothing. They didn't properly serve me. Her motions don't meet the rules under 1.6. They're supposed to be 12, 13 font. They're 12. They're not formatted properly. Her headlines aren't underlined. They're not italicized.
Listen to this. Now, he's talking way too fast, but the screen is black. But just listen to this legal analysis by a mind that knows the legalese so well that he already has it memorized.
I put in a request for him. I put in requests for pretrial interviews.
Wants his discovery so that he can defend himself.
I haven't even got a response. Nothing. They didn't properly serve me. Her motions don't meet the rules under 1.6. They're supposed
They didn't properly serve me. Her motions don't meet the rules under 1.6.
to be 12, 13 font. They're 12.
They're the wrong size font.
They're not formatted properly. Her headlines aren't underlined. They're not italicized. She doesn't even know how to format a motion. The motion that came in the mail, you should have stricken it because it didn't meet 1.6 or 1.9. It wasn't formatted properly. So then the next one that came, you know, I don't want to nitpick because you actually granted it, but if she can't put the proper font, she can't file the motions. That's like literally Arizona Rule of Criminal Procedure 1.6b. So the issue now we move to is disclosure. We're sitting here when I know for a fact under Rule 15.1, they're required to turn this over, but they've been dragging their feet because as of on November 5th, a local reporter got all this case information, but I put in a request on October 25th. So the defendant in the case requested it on October 25th, still doesn't have it, but a local reporter requested it on November 5th and got it the same day. But I don't have it.
So again, Mr. Myers, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't have any
He's talking about the discovery is what he's talking about.
written.
I did put it in
front of.
I did put a request for disclosure in. And I gave it to her and it was properly served.
Right,
And you don't have to
understand
do
that there's
certificate
been
of service in the
a
lower
request.
court, you know, and I told her how to serve me. And they sent me an envelope in the mail with their motion and the minute order from your order. That's not how we're doing service in the court, okay? They have my email. We have another case going on. They're seeking jail time because I booed at City Hall, not because of this. This is a mockery, sir.
Jail time on that case.
Huh?
I'm not seeking jail time on that case. Please don't mistake the facts.
No, you're seeking it in this case to get it out of that, to try to cover up what you're doing in that case. You're a clown, plain and simple. Are we done
Oh,
here?
you're a clown.
So you want motion to compels? Because I know judges hate motion to compels. Because I'm gonna file one every day. Where's the disclosure? It's been, so
Again, Mr. Myers, you've asked a litany of questions here.
I gotta talk fast before I get arrested.
Your Honor, may I be heard?
Yes, Ms. Walker?
Thank you, Your Honor. The first thing that I would like to address is to inquire if Mr. Myers is live streaming, broadcasting, or recording this hearing, as well as any of the multiple observers who are online. The reason that I ask this is because Mr. Myers has historically recorded without permission, as well as broadcast information without the court's permission.
Objection, Your Honor. Irrelevant.
Okay, now here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen here and why this is so fascinating. Because Lane Myers right now is going to say, he's going to lose his cool and say, what are we doing? This has already been decided by the Supreme Court. I'm broadcasting. And the prosecutor is going to continue to argue against already established Supreme Court case law. And Lane gets really frustrated. Eventually, I don't want to ruin it for you, but
I got permission. This is the gaslighting that they want me to get me pissed off and arrested at for today.
Your Honor,
So, Mr. Myers,
She doesn't even know the rule. 122H,
Mr. Myers.
broadcast is not coverage.
Right, again, Mr. Myers.
Just tell her to be quiet then.
We'll maintain decorum again.
I just dealt with this yesterday with the same thing in a different hearing yesterday with this
Your Honor,
bullshit with her.
Your Honor, I'd ask that you hold Mr. Lane Myers in contempt.
Mr. Myers.
To obey the court's orders.
Again, I'm going to remind you, we're not to use profanity here in the courtroom.
Actually, it's my First Amendment right to use profanity. I get what you're saying though. I'll be decorum. Like we can find a line between me using the words and the words you don't find acceptable and what I might want to say that isn't traditionally what's said. I don't need to use every profanity, but if I drop one once in that, that's just who I am. Hold my disability against me, I guess.
So again, Mr. Myers, there's been no filing of any ADA accommodation.
No, I'm
request.
going by what they say. They say I'm disabled. I'm not.
Right, and so again.
I'm crazy. I'm disabled. I'm mental. I'm a domestic terrorist.
Right, I
They
don't
got a
know-
wanted poster for me. So let her tell her thing how I can't record under a Supreme Court rule because it hurts her feelings while other people are doing it. While the whole case, look at Shannon Walker, a victim, is doing it, right? She's allowed to watch, but why can't other people?
Your Honor, if I may be
So
heard.
the record will reflect the presence of the victim appearing remotely.
There's no victim in this case. There's a victim. There's no victim. So that's what I'm saying. Why does it say victim? This was a civil injunction. That's a plaintiff and a defendant.
Right, so Mr.
So
Myers,
in this case, when you violate the court order, there's no victim. I didn't talk to her. I violated it by driving past the building. There is no victim in this case.
right, again, Mr. Myers, I don't know what the facts of this case are.
Why does it say victim?
I'm going to
Did you hear what he's being charged with? What the violation of the protection order is? If you blinked, you missed it because this is the whole crux of the case.
This was a civil injunction. That's a plaintiff and a defendant.
Right, so Mr.
So
Myers,
in this case, when you violate the court order, there's no victim. I didn't talk to her. I violated it by driving past the building.
She got a civil protection order, and then he drove past the building, and that's why he has a criminal case against him now.
There is no victim in this case.
right, again, Mr. Myers, I don't know what the facts of this case are.
Why does it say victim?
I'm going to turn to Ms. Walker for some clarification. Ms. Walker.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is, Mr. Myers has been charged with interfering with judicial proceedings, failing to abide by a court order. The alleged victim is Shannon Walker, the holder of that court order, the injunction against harassment. We won't go into the facts of the case, as this is
Oh,
not
we'll go into
either an evidentiary
Mr. Myers.
hearing nor a bench trial. I would also like to revisit Rule 122.
H.
I would also, Your Honor,
Right,
I
Mr.
would ask
Myers,
that you not interrupt
just
me.
as we gave you the
He's got a serious problem.
opportunity to speak, we're now going to give Ms. Walker the opportunity. So
Is
Ms.
my
Walker-
presence required here still?
Yes,
Yes, it is, Mr. Myers.
For what?
Because we're in the middle of a legal
All right,
proceeding.
all right.
Ms. Walker.
thank you. Your Honor, under Supreme Court Rule 122, a person must request to record or broadcast.
Except as provided in subsection H. This is wasting our time.
Ms. Myers,
This is how funny was that? He said, okay. And then he just jumps right back in like a tiger.
your interruption, again, is interfering with a legal proceeding. Ms. Walker, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Under 122H, as Mr. Meyer states, it does authorize the use of a personal audio recorder. First, he must put in a notice of using that personal audio recorder. None of that has been made.
Actually, I did. You're wrong. I did it before you got here. So you're fucking gaslighting us.
Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers.
So he's getting upset because there's already been a Supreme Court rule. It's clearly established. She's wasting the court's time, and that's what he gets irritated about.
Please do not use profanity in the courtroom. And also, the parties are directed to speak to the court, not to each other. So, Ms. Walker, Mr. Myers is correct. He did provide notice that he is recording with a personal device pursuant to Supreme Court Rule 122, subsection H.
Thank you. The rule that I would clarify then, Your Honor, is he recording? And I would just like to clarify that. And also, any observers,
Why? They're recording.
any observers must also put in that notice or a request. None of those are present here, so I would implore the court to ask the gallery if any of them are recording.
Shannon Walker, the victim, that's the gallery.
Right, so again, Mr. Myers, we can't just speak whenever we want here in the court proceeding. So I will note that Ms. Walker is correct. There has been no request to record the broadcast, to record the court proceedings. So I want to remind all those observing that you are not to be recording these proceedings. It would be in violation of the Supreme Court rules.
You know, let me just take a second, okay? Hold on, let me jump in. This is so ridiculously stupid in today's day and age, because once there is a recording created, that's it. That's it, forever.
Or a request. None of those are
Listen to the judge. This is just mind-boggling. The court is recording. Lane Myers is recording. He's put in a request. He's followed the rules. And he's informed them he's recording. And now the judge is going to say this.
present here, so I would implore the court to ask the gallery if any of them are recording.
Shannon Walker, the victim, that's the gallery.
Right.
The whole courtroom is Shannon Walker, the prosecutor, and Lane Myers.
So again, Mr. Myers, we can't just speak whenever we want here in the court proceeding. So I will note that Ms. Walker is correct. There has been no request to record the broadcast.
Nobody else better get this broadcast. Where's the logic?
To record the court proceedings. So I want to remind all those observing that you are not to be recording these proceedings. It would be in violation of the Supreme Court rules.
You got us. All of us. Everybody who's restreaming this, who's watching this, who's recording this, you got us, Judge. Send out your warrants.
Anything further at this time, Ms. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to address.
It's preposterous.
I do have initial disclosure here with me. We've also put in a request for media. All of that will be making its way over to Mr. Myers. We do have his email. We will be sending that shortly. If you would like to ask for any kind of evidentiary hearing, I would ask that substantive motions be filed, as is required, so that I can respond to them. So at this time, that was just me clarifying the record. I would also just ask in the future, I understand the urgency of needing to set this hearing, but there is a victim in the case. She's been watching me very closely, and that's how she caught that there's the hearing today. I actually didn't even know that this got set today.
She could have requested.
So again, Mr. Myers, I'll give you another opportunity to speak. Right now, it's Ms. Walker's turn. Thank you.
So just moving forward, I would request, I'd also like to confirm that Mr. Myers is not live streaming. That is
I mean, what is her infatuation with recording happening?
a major concern with this case and that he is in fact just using a recording app rather than any kind of phone or live stream.
Read 122H, sir. It says broadcast on person. It defines in 122H cover and coverage. We can play games. I'm not stopping.
Your Honor, that seems to give me the impression that he is in fact live streaming or broadcasting this, and
Broadcasting under 122H,
Right, again.
audio only.
Right, again.
So are
I'll
you.
allow you an opportunity
Right, so are you. You're broadcasting under 122H also.
Your Honor, if I may just clarify, and I do have the rule with me.
Me too, in my head.
A person may use a personal audio recorder during a proceeding, but the person must notify the judge and the judge's staff prior to using the device.
I did.
A person, and actually that does have a timeline, Your Honor, of I believe it's 2 days.
No, it doesn't. You can literally do it when you walk in the
Mr.
courtroom.
Mr. Myers, again, I'll allow you the proper opportunity to respond, but we cannot interrupt.
And a person who uses a personal audio recorder is not required to submit a request under paragraph C of this rule, but a person who wishes to record or broadcast the audio portion of the proceeding with a device that is not on the person must do so. The use of a personal audio recorder must not be obtrusive, distracting, or otherwise prohibited, and use is subject to prohibitions of paragraph K of this rule. Your Honor, this case is, as you might already tell, a rather high media case given Mr. Myers' online following. This case in particular regards an injunction against harassment given his streaming, as well as any other context that he has
Allegedly.
with Ms. Walker, Ms. Shannon Walker, the victim. So for these reasons, I would implore the court to not permit any kind of broadcast. And I would again ask if he is in fact live streaming and broadcasting this proceeding.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Mr. Myers, if you wouldn't mind from the microphone so we can pick you up on the recording.
122H, let's read it again. It says, if you're doing it not on your person, which means if it's on your person, you do not need a request. Broadcast is defined in the definitions on 122. Since you got the rule in your hand, why don't you stop gaslighting the American people and start at the top under definitions, cover and cover. You're right. Cover and coverage, Your Honor. Cover and coverage it's in the definitions. Cover and coverage apply to C, D, E, F, G, not H. Alphabet is hard. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. H specifically says that there is no 2-day timeline. That's for coverage. You cannot object to this. People can walk in and say, Your Honor, I'm recording, set it down. It's on my person. I can broadcast because the word broadcast and the word cover and coverage are defined in the Supreme Court order. So we avoid stupid ass conversations like this.
Again, and we raise our voice. Why?
Because she doesn't hear well.
Right, but again, you're addressing the court.
You're right.
And so
I apologize, sir. I apologize.
Thank you.
The idea is, it's not super splurge, okay? Surplusage heart. Supreme Court, she wants you to overrule the Supreme Court right now. You can't do it, and I'm not stopping.
Right, and again, nobody's asking you to, Mr. Myers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I would just like to be heard on one final thing.
Certainly.
A personal audio recorder, and when this rule was generated, it's defined as a device used to record audio only, and that is on, held by, or immediately next to the person who's operating the device. If the device is able to also broadcast the audio,
Go down.
therefore it is not a personal audio recorder and should not be permitted in court.
Then why does it use the word broadcast in H if you can't broadcast in H? Why is the word broadcast in H? And furthermore, she just gaslit us again because if you go 2 definitions below, you notice I'm not even using no papers like her. Go 2 below. The one she just cited, personal audio recorder. Skip 1, go to the next one. Recording device. What's the last words in recording device? Cell phones and personal audio recorders are considered recording devices. So she's picking and choosing which definition she wants to put on the record when you can see right with your own 2 eyes, sir. There's personal audio recorder, there's another definition, and then there's recording device. And what does it say?
Only refers to
Right.
personal.
And then H says broadcast. Well, how could you broadcast if it couldn't broadcast?
So, Mr. Myers, in fact, we're all going to read H here together.
Thank you, so she can understand it.
Mr. Myers. So personal audio recorders require notice to the court. A person may use a personal audio recorder during a proceeding, but the person must notify the judge or judge's staff prior to using the device, which you've done. A person who uses a personal audio recorder is not required to submit a request under paragraph C of this rule, but a person who wishes to record or broadcast the audio portion of a proceeding with a device.
That is not on the person. That is not on the person. That means setting up my fucking thing over here in the corner or blocking. You can't be obtrusive. You
Setting up my fucking thing over here in the corner, he says to the judge.
can't have cords all fucking, they're all tripping
Mr.
over.
Myers, again with the profanity.
But I'm saying, you're gaslighting us. The hearing's already over. I already recorded it. It's already been broad streamed. And so have hundreds of other people.
Mr. Myers,
It's not going to stop.
I'm attempting to read the rule.
I don't need to know the rule. I know the rule. That's why I came in here, notified her, and I'm following it. It's on my person.
Again, Mr. Myers, it seems like I'm not reading the rule for your benefit, but again, for the record, as well as for Ms. Walker.
Thank you.
And so, can we
Thank you.
please not interrupt
Thank you.
the court?
Thank you.
But a person who wishes to record or broadcast the audio portion of a proceeding with a device that is not on the person must do so. Of course, now at this point, Mr. Myers, I don't see the device on your person.
I'm putting myself in timeout so I don't keep cussing at you because this is turning into a kangaroo court, and I had more respect for you before I walked in here.
Right. So, Mr. Myers, I don't know why you think it's a kangaroo court.
I'm saying it's not. I don't want it to be.
Right.
Because we're arguing over something that, why do I keep having to come in these hearings and tell them how the Supreme Court rule works? What is she afraid of?
Mr. Myers, this is
The
first-
truth?
Mr. Myers, this is the first court hearing in this proceeding. I don't know what's
But she's
going on.
bringing it, she's talking about other cases, saying it's a big media case. Well, maybe you shouldn't have arrested me for booing at the city council meeting and it wouldn't be a big media.
Again, Mr. Myers, I don't know what's going on in your other legal proceedings.
Well, she wants you to know. She wants you to know that all this attention is because I'm making videos about her because of other cases. Now I got all these people that want to know what's happening to me, and now they're making videos of her, making fun of her, and I put her picture on a T-shirt making fun of her, and so now she doesn't think that 122H should apply to me.
I'm not aware of any of those facts. And again,
Oh, I'm sure she's going to follow that motion like she did in the other case. I'm sure you're going to get a Rule 11. I'm sure you're going to get all that. I'm going to file a Rule 11 on her, actually.
Myers, that would be not, again, a legally non-cognizable filing.
This whole proceeding is a joke to me.
Your Honor, I think at this point.
Because what happens when the injunction gets thrown out? Because I'm appealing the injunction. So if the injunction gets thrown out, how did I violate it?
It was held out yesterday.
That's irrelevant. See, she just brought that in there. That's prejudicial to the proceedings. That needs to be stricken from the record because it's allegedly, I still have didn't you just read here that even when convicted, I still have an appeal, right? So she just said it was upheld yesterday, but how does she know that it was lawfully upheld until I challenge it upon appeal? Now, if she wants to say it was upheld upon appeal, sure, but she just prejudiced the jury. You're also the jury, sir. So unlike a normal jury trial, the jury wouldn't get to hear all this back and forth nonsense. They would just come in here with a fresh slate. So if she wants to throw slang dirt on it, that's allegedly, it needs to be stricken from the record.
Again, Mr. Myers, I don't know what the facts are of this case, but of course, there is an order issued from the
Mhm.
court. That would be a valid court order.
Oh, I'm not going to break it. Yeah. I mean, I take that serious, but I don't, this whole stopping me from recording when the rule, what are we here arguing about a Supreme Court rule for? This happens. There's people watching this right now, watching this kangaroo turn into this thing about this 120. Every time I come into these hearings, I had to argue for 10 minutes yesterday about 122H. Why?
Mr. Myers, this is now the second time you called it a kangaroo.
No, I said I don't want it to turn into.
Again, everybody's reporting this. We can go back and listen.
I hope they are.
Okay.
Because they're going to see that this is all she's worried about is the coverage of it. Let's talk about the facts. We can't talk about, can I please leave, sir? I just want to go home and go back and mind my own business.
Any further before we come back then for the next status conference on December 5th at 8?
You're going to keep that one on the 5th? I think I have another, we might have trial that day actually in a different case.
We have trial on the second hearing.
It might go a couple days.
Again,
It will
the
not.
court just,
How could she say that it's not going to go a couple days? Is she the judge in the case?
Judge
Mr. Myers,
will
I'm not
visit
sure why
it.
you're raising your voice again.
Is it time for me to leave?
The court is reaffirming the status conference on December 5th at 8:45 in the morning. Any questions? or
Can I,
concerns?
so I'm going to file Rule 16 motion to dismiss before then. She's saying she wants me, I'm going to put the Rule 16 suppression motion in too, so you can set an evidentiary hearing.
The court has those properly before it on December 5th. We can address those then.
So what you're saying, no, because they won't have 10 days to respond. And then they'll come,
What happened to the whole hoopla about recording or not recording? That just went away? What about the broadcasting? It's just, the argument just ended?
playing that I didn't, it's a game. I take your order serious. When I say it's a game, that doesn't mean I don't respect what you're saying. I'm saying this is
Mr. Myers, any other questions or concerns
No.
before we adjourn?
No.
Ms. Walker, anything further?
what time on the 5th?
One moment.
No, Your Honor, I would just make a note that we have sent out initial disclosure to his email, and you also have what I have on my person.
So why haven't I gotten it before today?
Again, Mr. Myers, letting Ms. Walker speak right now. Ms. Walker.
Just clarifying that for the record. Otherwise, no, Your Honor, I have nothing further.
Okay, Ms. Myers, anything based on that?
Well, I'll be ready at the status. Hey, I'm not going to come in the status conference the same.
Your Honor, I would ask that he be required in person.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't going to come there. I'm saying with the same attitude. See, look at. Am I good?
There being nothing further, then we are adjourned. If you'd like to wait for a copy of the court order for here today, you can, and you're free to leave.
So that is Lane Myers. I'll give you my thoughts. So if I'm gonna, here's the thing. Oh, hey, V Boyer, what's going on, V? Everybody say hello to V Boyer. What is going on, Playboy? What's up with the Playboy V Boyer? Where you been? Yeah, you and Chevy. You guys are old school, way old school. What's going on, V? How's life? Good to see you. You look great. So let me give you my thoughts with V Boyer about Lane. So the judge who's talking to Lane, that guy right there, right? That judge has the power to put him in jail, to sentence him to be turn around, squat, cough. They're going to look up your backside. How come? Because you're going to jail, so you must stuff things up your butt because you're going to jail. So if they take you to jail from the courtroom in anticipation of going to jail, you likely stuff things up your butt, is the way they think. And so that's what you have to consider. It's not just whether or not Lane is guilty or innocent. Here's just go down to the very basement of man, the very basement of humanity. Someone forcing you to turn around, show your butt cheeks, spread them open, like the grossest of gross. It's inhumane treatment. It's inhumane treatment. It's wrong to treat people. Yeah, Lane's a real deal of a constitutionalist. He sure is. I don't know if his Tourette's is going to be able to keep him in the case. Do you know what I mean? Because if you say one wrong thing and he called the court a kangaroo court, the judge could leave there, and the judge could be thinking in his heart, I'm going to zap that mofo for calling my court a kangaroo court. He is the judge, the jury. He's everything. He is the decider of Lane's freedom. And that's something that I didn't take seriously enough, because whether we like it or not, you are going to be subjected to the system that is created. People talk about lynchings all the time. The truth is that lynchings were real popular. Everybody got lynched. Joseph Smith, who started the Mormon church, he got lynched. Everybody got lynched. There was thousands and thousands and thousands of lynchings. It's good to see everybody. Life under the microscope. What is going on? Mongoose. What is going on? Claudette. Until the appeal. Butch the original. April's here. What is going on? Plead the fifth. Chevy, jump into the chat. Chevy, I know you're listening, driving along, listening in. Kevin Brzezinski. Got V Boyer, I plead the fifth. Don DeBomb, Northeast Colorado Cop Block. Levi Audits is over there on Twitter. What's going on over there on Twitter? Jeff Spacone is over here on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I just jumped into Twitter conversation. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff Hates Pigs is over on Twitter. Almost 200 people watching on Twitter. Pretty cool. Slowly but surely. I want to show you guys this video. Don't call the cops on your loved ones when they're having a mental crisis.
Here we go. I know, but I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go, open the door. Don't, That's a crossfire for me. Hey, you either open the door or I'm gonna break the door in. One or the other.
Yeah, baby!
All right, I cannot verify. Door that, please. If it's gonna be cure you inside right now or not, I'm gonna need to get fire rescue to open the door.
Gailey, I just saw your hello.
Open the door.
Oh, yeah, that. Say hello from X.
I gotta make sure you're good.
I gotta make sure you're good. Okay, so let me say something, okay? If there's no warrant for your arrest and the cops come to the door of your house, we've got the whole band back together here. If you don't act crazy, start screaming at the door, crazy things, and if you don't make your presence known and they don't have a warrant, they can shove their wellness check up their Watusi. You sit down, you shut up. You sit there. Don't say a word. Don't say a single solitary word. This is not how you avoid a wellness check becoming, I'm going to kick your door down.
Open the door. I gotta make sure you're good.
I got you, JH Gandhi. I answer all messages on Team DLZ, so I'll check in today.
Hey, open the door. Come on, you wanted to open it a minute ago. Let's go. Two that I know.
Raya, who?
Nobody's leaving. Not after what I've been hearing. Open the door.
Oh, did you hear what the copper just said, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear what the copper just said? They got a call for a wellness check. They don't have a warrant to come into your house with a call for a wellness check. They get to the door, and what do they hear? You first knock, you hear, oh shit, the cops are here. You lay down and you just wait. They got no warrant. They can't come in. Unless.
Leaving. Not after what I've been hearing. Two that I know. Nobody's leaving. Not after what I've been hearing.
Oh gosh, that's going to be the 1963 case of Kerr versus California. 1963 case of Kerr versus California. And that is going to make it so the cops can just tap, 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 knock on the door, and then boom, kick your door down. If they have probable cause to believe that there's a crime afoot, or it's exigent circumstances, which includes a loss of life.
Open the door. That's lethal.
Is Richard there, ma'am? Is Richard there?
Oh, there's two females in there. There's a male in there?
There's a male in there. Oh, and you can clear for now. We have not been able to make entry.
Okay, it's not that they don't have a warrant. They can come into your house if there's exigent circumstances, if they fear there's going to be a loss of life.
Bro, ain't nobody going nowhere. You gotta open the door so I can make sure you're okay. Fuck you too. All right, bitch ass, open the door. Let's go. Come on, show me what you got, big man. Yo, you want to talk all that shit? Let's go. Open the door.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Last time we broke the door.
Well, I'm not kicking it in. I call for fire rescue to break it in.
It's a boy. It's a kid.
How she gave me this call?
Dice que se va a encajar un cuchillo.
Y él tiene un cuchillo en la mano.
Le tira los cuchillos encima en la
Ok, bueno, ábrame la puerta entonces. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you're gonna go first.
We don't fight a knife fight with that.
So he's going in.
If he's got a knife, open the door. Come on, we gotta help you out.
Gotta help you out. If you open the door and someone that you love has a knife and the cops are there, what do you think's gonna happen?
Richard, open the door. He said, fuck you.
He's like
Just so the cameras can listen to this, I know the society is poisoning people with a lot of fucking chemicals in their food.
Okay?
Oh no. What? Okay.
Poisoning people with a lot of cameras can listen to this. I know the society is poisoning people with a lot of fucking chemicals in their food.
I know the society. Oh no. Now you're 5150. You're crazy. Now they have exigent circumstances.
Okay?
Fucking corn wheat, son. I get an allergic condition, but I am not mentally fucking ill.
It sounds like it.
I know, fuck you.
Fuck you too. Open the door. We can talk about it.
I didn't make myself bloody clear.
You didn't make yourself clear, no. And with your condition, the way you're acting, we are gonna bring.
With your condition, the way you're acting, what did I say to you? They can't come in your house on a wellness check if you shut the front door and shut down all activity. Not a sound, not a peep, not a word. Neighbors called, someone was screaming. They get there, there's no screaming, there's no nothing. We need a warrant. Someone said they heard a scream here, so we have to get a warrant. No, that's not how it goes. Thanks, Chevy. Thanks, Rising Tide. Appreciate you, man. God bless you. God bless you. When a cop says, I want to help you out, run the other direction. That's 100% correct, Rising Tides Outreach. Thanks, man. Appreciate your support. Look at the people on X. Right on. Lots of people on X. So cool. We're growing fast on X. It's really great. And we just started.
Break this door down.
But remember what I said. They don't see anything. They don't hear anything. And they don't think there's anybody crazy in there. But listen.
I didn't make myself bloody clear.
You didn't make yourself clear, no. And with your condition, the way you're acting, we are gonna break this door down.
And they will.
You are?
This dude walks up. I'm going to kick the door down. This is the hero.
Wait, possible knife. Go. Hold on, we're getting in. Knife.
She's in the back, isn't she? Isn't this woman in the back? And then she says, knife. She doesn't. How does she know if there's a knife? They said drop the knife, so then she just repeats it like on a football team. Strong left.
Knife. Watch yourself. Get out of the way, man. Get out of the way.
Why don't they? Do you not notice how large the man is in front of her? This guy right here is bigger than the door. Look how big this guy is. You can't,
Get out of the way!
tasered.
Tasered, advice supervisor.
What do you think happened there?
Tasered, advice supervisor. Shots fired, shots fired. Hold the air, you can move. Back up. Hold on, back up. Shots fired. Get me supervisor. Need units on scene. I need to get a perimeter. Hold the
Dude's about 100 pounds. Look at that dude. Maybe 100 pounds. Maybe.
shots fired. Get me supervisor. Need
Dude's tiny.
units on scene. I need to get a perimeter. Hold the air.
What do you guys think happened?
Drop it. Drop it. Wait, Pino. Subject on the ground. Shots fired. Supervisor, get me units around this apartment complex. Up here, 15's now. Wait, you might have another knife.
3100, I'm down the street.
Hold on. He's got a knife under him.
Watch out.
Knife under him.
Watch out.
Knife under him. Wait. Bring him out.
Bring him out.
So, let me jump in here. Sorry, but so you guys heard 6 shots, right? You guys heard that? So if you get shot 6 times right up here from 3 feet, 4 feet away, you're gonna die. And look at the
Watch out.
Fire rescue on at 3. Get her out. We need to get her out.
You're the one that wanted to kick the door down, bro. You were so sure of yourself. I'm gonna kick this door down. I'm gonna kick the door down. How you feel now, champion? You saved some people? Is that what you did? Did you save some people?
Her out.
Thanks, I plead the 5th.
Pino, out. Pino goes in the car. Stop. Not a word to anybody. Not a word.
Did you see that? So this right here, I've already seen this. So this right here, okay, gonna let these guys go, but the woman, she knows someone's been killed, been murdered. They shouldn't have kicked the door down. They should have just left him alone, but hey.
Pino, out. Pino goes in the car.
Pino goes in the car, whatever that means, but now watch what she does here.
Stop. Not a word.
Not a word. Don't talk to anybody, nothing. Don't tell anybody that I just walked up here and decided to kick the door down like a Neanderthal. He thought it'd be a great idea to kick the door down.
Not a word to anybody. Not a word. I need the supervisor. I need to put the officer in the car. Not a word.
So not only did he kick the door down, then he killed the dude.
3,000 and 3,100. 2,000 and 3,100 around.
So now how much time has passed here? I mean, dude got shot right here. Okay, so let's say it's 9 minutes and 40 seconds. We're 2 minutes later from him getting shot, Still nothing's happened for him.
Verify there's an oxygen shot.
I got it. Negative. Officers QRU. I need him contained in a vehicle. Reference to shooting. Subject appears to be still alive. Give us a second.
Appears to be still alive. He won't be if you don't put fingers in the bullet holes.
Over.
That's what those gloves are supposed to be for. Put the fingers in the bullet holes and then use a bandage and clog those holes up.
Start CPR if he is out. Pino, do not touch him. Stay there. Check vitals.
So I'm starting to see now.
Okay.
Starting CPR 2.5 minutes later.
CPR started. Time it.
We got a pulse.
Okay.
How does he know he's got a pulse? Feel the heartbeat?
Okay. Good job. Good job.
Good job. Good job. You kicked the door down and killed somebody.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
I guess we see things a little bit different.
You're good. Don't say a word to anybody.
We're good. She's still coaching the dude who kicked the door down and murdered him.
01. I'm gonna need to clear this house also. I got 2 locked doors. One subject down. GSW. CPR start.
You got to put fingers in the holes or bandages in the holes, or you're just pumping the blood out of his system.
Started. Has a pulse. I need the officer involved to go in a green and white and sit there and wait. He's going. I just need the green and white. Where we got him?
You know how many chest is?
I don't. Yep. Yeah.
It's a hotel 3 is waiting for you, officer.
01. We do have fire rescue. Correct. I gotta clear this over here.
I mean, all this female cop is concerned about is that he doesn't talk to anybody. We're good. Don't say a word to anybody. Because he walked up like a psycho. He lost his patience and he walked up like a psycho to kill. We're at 1327 right here, but it was right.
You are?
So this dude just comes waltzing up and he says, get out of the way. I'm kicking the door down. She says, you are?
You are? Wait, possible knife. You are? Wait, possible knife. Go.
And then he's the first one through the door. So he does the actual killing as well. He does the actual murder as well.
I don't know what's there. Here. Watch your step. I don't know if there's dogs in here or what. I got dogs over here. But I need these 2 cleared. I don't know what's here. I don't know what's there. We haven't checked. Okay. That might have a dog. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, nasty.
Wait a minute. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. If we're
Do you see that? She just doesn't want them to talk.
QRU, if we're QRU, then just go ahead, stay out, unless you're gonna help with CPR. I don't want a million people in here.
I'm putting tape on each side of this box.
All right.
Give the tape.
Can I get in here for crime scene tape around here, please?
This dude just wants to stand over a dead body and watch someone.
Anyone
Watch yourself.
pressing that 1050?
Where's the blue murder gloves, bro?
Bravo 312.
You got it, baby?
Secure the whole thing.
All right, you're good.
Everybody else is good.
Dead as a doornail.
Secure the whole thing.
All right, you're good.
Everybody else is good.
I got it.
Honda 3100
Okay, whenever you want to switch, I can switch with you. Now, let me know when you're tired, okay?
There's a dog in there.
You guys check the house already? We haven't checked the house. Oh, you gotta check the house.
He know. I put him downstairs. He needs to go in the car.
He comes in, pulls out his gun. He goes, "Let me look around before I say I'm going to look around. I'm going to."
Oh, you gotta check the house.
He know. I put him downstairs.
What the? So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Okay. You're in a room there and you got the door locked because the shooting is going on out there. And then, there's 20 cops in the hallway because there's been a shooting. You hear all the radios, right? So the cops now think that your logic is I'm going to pull a gun out and have a shootout with 20 cops as I'm bottlenecked inside here. This dumb cop pulls his gun out. Like, I need to look around. Let me get my trusted firearm. Like, what are we talking about? It's absurd.
He needs to go in the car secured.
None of our officers are hurt.
No one of our officers are hurt. We did a sweep.
Hold on.
You know what crime scene tape is?
It's right here, right here. The two doors are locked right here.
He goes in the green light, right?
I sent him downstairs to go sit in the green and white.
Make sure everybody else.
What we need is the entire scene. There's a knife here and a knife there.
Here you go.
Switching CPR.
Switching CPR.
You ever put a tourniquet in? Okay, somebody put a tourniquet.
A tourniquet on his chest. On his chest.
Got shot on the arm too, no?
I believe it's coming from his chest. I don't know.
Yeah, he got 2 wounds in the arm.
Yeah. Welcome to another demonetized live stream right here on Delete Laws. What's going on, people? I'm just seeing the thanks Life Under the Microscope. Appreciate that. Thanks, Life Under the Microscope. Appreciate that, man. You guys are great. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Yeah, they're not gonna appreciate sharing this with you guys.
Okay.
Keep on climbing and continue. Secure, right? Everything's secured. Now go. We're gonna shut down the house completely. No one from this way. We're gonna shut down this whole second floor. Just secure that way. I'm gonna get some advice on tape.
Get over there, little dog.
I'm gonna know sensation. Make sure you tighten that first. As much as you can.
Thanks, Donnell.
Bro, get off the air. I'm sorry.
Well, per Mike's comment there, it's not that they can't do the CPR right. They put 6 holes in him at 3 feet away. this big monster dude came walking down the hallway and said, I'm going to kick the door down. And then he did. Thanks to Nell for the gifted memberships. I appreciate you guys.
01. Tourniquet being applied. Time it now.
Should go 2039.
When the
I will get it all. It's all on tape. I told them time it.
Good. You were 3 minutes before you guys started CPR. You were 3 minutes. What Claudette wrote there is to keep your welfare check. If the cops are beating on your door for a welfare check, you don't say anything. You just be quiet and sit down and let them beat on your door. Don't give them a reason that they can say they had to come in, because this is what happens if you do.
Bible?
Nasty, isn't it? I haven't seen up to this part here. I just wanted to show you guys what happens if you start blabbing during a wellness check and start saying, hey, F you, I don't want to deal with you cops. You don't say anything. You just sit down, shut the front door, and don't say anything at all whatsoever. You say nada, you say nothing.
10, a former police officer accused of using his power to steal nude photos from people during traffic stops, now facing federal charges.
And on top of that, we've learned a second law enforcement officer in Missouri is accused of the same crime. First Alert 4 has been following the case in Florissant, hearing from several victims and attorneys taking legal action against the ex-cop. Now, our Melanie Johnson, who's been on this case from the beginning. Melanie, what can you tell us about what we're learning tonight?
Yes, Em and Corey, we're live outside the U.S. Attorney's Office where that former Florissant police officer has been indicted on federal charges. One attorney tells me he could see up to 21 charges. This comes as a list of civil and federal lawsuits are being filed against the ex-cop being accused of violating women he pulled over. Florissant police confirming to First Alert 4 a man who once wore their uniform has been indicted by the feds, who say he stole naked photos of women during traffic stops. There's Jane Doe 1.
This man.
What? I'm so sorry. I got it. Okay, hold on a second.
Florissant police
Florissant. That's got to be easy to find. Someone find their Facebook page.
confirming to First Alert 4 a man
Florissant.
who once wore their uniform has been indicted by the feds, who say he stole naked photos of women during traffic stops. There's Jane Doe 1.
This man should be held accountable for what he has done to us.
Jane Doe 2.
I believe my constitutional rights were broken.
And Jane Doe 3.
What you did to me and these other females, how you overused your power as a police officer to do these things, to make these women feel this way. You should be disgusted in yourself.
These victims came forward to First Alert 4 and filed lawsuits against former Florissant police officer Julian Alcala. According to court documents, the first case happened in February.
Mr. Alcala is not a bank robber. He's a guy who somehow let the power go to his head.
Attorney Beavis Schock is suing Alcala in federal court. The former Florissant officer is scheduled to go on trial in 2026 for taking the nude photos after asking to see insurance information via phone.
There was another person indicted today, a trooper, I think in southern Missouri, for the same conduct.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're coincidences, and
Yeah, there was another trooper that I covered last week or something like that.
sometimes there aren't coincidences.
Ex-Missouri State Highway Patrol Trooper David McKnight is facing similar allegations in Cape Girardeau. The 39-year-old charged with committing civil rights crimes against.
Look, they strip you down to your dignity. They even did it to this copper here for his mugshot.
9 women. The patrol trooper David McKnight is facing similar allegations in Cape Girardeau. The 39-year-old charged with committing similar allegations.
Look at him there. Now watch the switch.
In Cape Girardeau.
That's great, isn't it?
39-year-old charged with committing civil rights crimes against 9 women. He's accused of swiping naked photos in their phones, including Emily Northern's.
It was really violating.
While Florissant PD tell First Alert 4 Wednesday they are disgusted at their former officer's behavior, more stories of Alcala's conduct continue to come out.
We have 6 now. Apparently, there are 21 counts of misdemeanor. I believe there are 10 who are in suit. I know of one who doesn't want to get involved. So I think we're going to have more people joining the civil case.
Florissant police tell us that no other officers were involved in these crimes, and during Alcala's time with the force, that there were no complaints as well. Attorney Beavis Schopp says he's expected to do in court sometime this week.
And Melanie,
Man, does anybody look up Florissant Police Department? That's a good idea. I plead the fifth.
been investigating these accusations for months now, and this is really the first time Florissant police have gone into this much detail about their former officer. What else did they tell you about him?
We've got new updates within the last hour. One of them saying they will not release a picture of this ex-officer because he no longer is an employee. We also got other information tonight about they did do a background check and everything came up clean. Another thing they wanted to really reiterate is that they feel betrayed by this officer because he did not uphold the values of the Florissant Police Department. We're live in downtown St. Louis tonight. Melanie Johnson, First Alert 4.
Melanie, thank you for that update.
Did we find it? What was it? Florissant Police Department. Let's just take a look and see what comes up here. Fluorescent, that's what it is. In Missouri. Oh, that's why they compared them and they said they were the same. They were the same. This is going to be kind of a fun phone call. Let's give a call over to Missouri. They're from down home, down there in Missouri. Such nice folks, Missourians. They really are. They really is.
Florissant Police Dispatch.
Hey, how you doing? My name's JD. I'm just giving a call over there to find out what's going on. What we're seeing in the press about that copper who was taking them nude pictures. I'm sorry, it makes me stutter a little bit, but I'm a member of the press. Everything I do is recorded too. So now we both probably recording at the same time. That's funny, ain't it? Anyhow.
All right, let me get you over to our public relations officer. He's the one that is handling all of that.
Well, I imagine over there it's a little later than it over is here on the West Coast, the best coast. And I was just maybe well, I don't want no answer machine now. I want someone I can have a conversation with, a real human being. And don't outsource me to Indonesia neither now, right?
I understand that you want to speak to a human.
I do. Yes, I do.
Per our policy, you have to speak to our public relations officers.
Right. Well, let me ask you this then. I know you can't answer no questions, but did you hear about this already?
Have I heard about it?
Yeah, you heard about this.
I mean, yeah, it's been in our news.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a national story now because I'm calling all the way from California.
But like I said, sir, I can't release any of the
I know it, honey. I know, darling. I know it. We love you. We're big black, the blue people around here. Just once in a while that, got a bad apple in there, right?
I get that, but like I said, sir, I
Yeah.
can't give any of that information out, so it has to come through our media and public relations officer. So
All righty,
I can transfer you over.
but you're going to give me an answer machine now, isn't you? Isn't that where this kind of comes to an end?
He is not in at this
Right.
time, but he will return your phone call
Right.
once he is in.
Right. So what happens though is I just go into a voicemail system, and then he just goes ahead and he clicks delete all tomorrow morning when I get in, and then you know what happens is nothing.
No, sir.
I mean, I tell you what, dadgummit, I got something to say. I'm upset right now, and I think I speak for a lot of people right now. And we see things like this, it rocks the very foundation of trust in the police that we all love so much.
I understand where you're coming from, sir, but like I said, per our policy and what we were directed by our chief, you have to speak to either.
Oh, I don't hear no dadgum policy now. It ain't gonna go nowhere if you just put me through to an answer machine. I ain't gonna get to talk to nobody now. God bless America, son of a gun. Dirty Watusi smells like Teen Spirit. I'll tell you what, sons of bitches. I ain't ever gonna tolerate being treated like no second-class American citizen. Oh God, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to have a good time. I will stop. Oh man, I wanted to give you guys a reaction to this. Apparently there's an updated video. Has anybody seen it? So let me just, before I go to the Florissant, Missouri Police Department, you guys can go fly a kite, okay? You guys can go fly a kite. Your dog, Shiznit. You guys remember this? So the cop threatens to arrest him right there. The next time I'm gonna fucking arrest you, you break your freaking neck. He didn't do anything illegal though. That's it. That's what he did. Tell me you know us. He even says, because you filmed that.
Put your hand behind your back.
Whoa.
Sit down.
Whoa. He even says, because you just filmed that, I'm about to ruin your day and erase it. Wow. What was the follow-up on this? Does the guy made a video recently. Wow, he was charged with culpable negligence and resisting arrest. Let's see. I've always wanted to follow this down the rabbit hole.
I'm like, you better not freaking delete that crap. And he's like trying to figure it out and look at it. And that's totally what he's doing.
So he's a good backflipper, but he's not the best at video making. His volume just fell out. Like there's no volume on this guy's video.
I have internet.
He's not good at making videos.
Put your hand behind your back.
Savagely attacking someone over filming. And then the chick behind is over there taking a picture. Did you see her back here? Do you see her back here? She's going to stop and take a picture. This one here. See that? See her over here? Good for you, honey. Too bad you didn't stop and make a video, though.
Sit down.
On today's show, we will be discussing the first time that I was arrested and taken to the clinic.
Basically, I was here. The cop was here. I have to like explain it as if I didn't get a video of it. So I ran and I jumped over him and I did a side flip. Everybody says, oh, you did a backflip over the cops. But in reality, it was a side flip. So know that, okay? So I did a backflip over the cops. I ran and I kept going. And then I was stopped, turned around, and I went back to explain it like a fool. I didn't know back then that you shouldn't explain things. Like, hey, it was just for a video, it was a joke or whatever. It was a joke, don't you get it? The irony of somebody jumping over you while you're sitting. Isn't that so ironic? They were...
This is the most telling part so far.
Oh, back then that you should turn around and so I did a backflip over the cops. I ran and I kept going and then I was stopped, turned around, and I went back to explain it.
I went back to explain to the reasonable, level-headed police officers what I was doing.
Like a fool. I didn't know back then that you shouldn't explain things.
Right.
Like, hey, it was just for a video, it was a joke or whatever. It was a joke, don't you get it? The irony of somebody jumping over you while you're sitting. Isn't that so ironic? They were offended that I did it, but they were mostly offended when they found out the camera was recording. They said they were going to ruin my day and erase it. You've seen the video. Say, no, you're not. Run to get the camera. They tackled me. I didn't know I was under arrest. Otherwise, I wouldn't have ran from them. I don't know if it was the same day or not, but I had just done jumping over people. And I was like, dang, man, that'd be an awesome shot to do it to a cop, too. I was sitting there. And while I was sitting there, he picks up my camera and stuff. And he's fidgeting with it. He reads me my rights. And I'm like, you better not freaking delete that crap. And he's like trying to figure it out and look at it. And that's totally what he was doing. Took me to jail. And I remember laying in bed and being like, the only thing that was on my mind is that video better be on that camera. God, every time I get arrested, that's what's on my mind. I'm thinking the camera.
Here's another big tell. Here's our culture. Here's America. Listen to what he says right here.
Better be on that camera. God, every time I get arrested, that's what's on my mind. I'm thinking the camera guy better freaking got the shot. Because if he did, I'm going to be pissed. That happened when I got arrested for the wedgie. We didn't get that on video. They took the camera as evidence. So I got out of jail the next day. Called my mom. Hey, Mom, I'm in jail. It was a sucky feeling, but it was so funny. I didn't care then because I was like blowing up on YouTube. And every time I'd do something wild, I'd just get more views and more money. And so it didn't even matter. Hey, Mom, I'm in jail. Will you bail me out? My parents bailed me out. I remember my dad being like, maybe you should leave him in there so he knows that we're not going to keep enabling him. So they bailed me out, and I was very thankful. The charges were culpable negligence and resisting arrest. So I got a lawyer and all that stuff. I didn't have my footage for about 3 months because they took the camera as evidence for the trial. I'm just like hoping that my footage is somewhere in the mysterious and beyond. I got pretrial intervention. So that means I did like a short 3-month probation, and then they dropped the charges. It was my first offense for anything. Then once they dropped the charges, I went and got my footage back. It was there, and I was so thankful. Oh my God, I was so happy. And I knew that people were going to eat it up. So then I posted it, and it got like 5 million views in a week. Did really good. It was on the front page of YouTube. That was back when the people decided what gets popular on YouTube, not an algorithm. Some people...
Man, wouldn't that be great?
Asked me what the cop said, or they didn't really understand what he was saying. I listened to that part in the video at least like 200, 300 times. I replayed that part. Something about, I'm going to break your effing neck, or when Tosh took the video clip, they said, I'm going to pounce on your neck. But I listened to that segment of audio at least like 300, maybe 500 times to try to figure out what the freak they were saying. One of the officers at the mall the other night that wouldn't let me go in, Billy overheard them talking about how they knew the officers that arrested me for that video, Officer Ivanov and Zach. I remember Ivanov, when I went to court one time, he was there, I guess, as a witness or something. I just remember just waving to him. It was so awkward. Somebody had told me once that they knew the officers, and the cop said something like, "You can tell them you're welcome for getting them famous." So thank you guys. I never got a chance to thank you for arresting me. Whenever I'm in jail, I just practice the whole time. They give you these flip-flop things, but I basically just practice catching it 1,000 times, and the guard's like, "What on earth are you freaking doing?" It didn't hurt whenever they tackled me. It was so unexpected. I was just trying to get to my camera. Like, I wasn't even running from them or something. So when they tackled me, I was like, I didn't know I was under arrest. I didn't know that they were trying to stop me from something. Every penny that I made from that video within a week for 5 million views went to paying a lawyer and all of like the court costs. And I basically broke completely even. Yeah, I remember I made like $4,000 from that video. It was so crazy, dude. Like $800 in a day. I remember looking at the AdSense. That was when I was like so opposed to even having ads on my videos. Like I had just started to put ads on it, but only the little pop-up ads at the very bottom. So I was getting paid like the bare minimum versus like having that pre-video ads. I would have made about $20,000 from that video back then at the time. That's just crazy because I was so opposed to not selling out. I almost did all that crap for free. Before I got arrested, I was at the beach. I think I was jumping over people. I think that's why I was there. Or I was there for another video, and then I saw them sitting on the bench, and I was like, perfect for jumping over people. I was there doing the next video. Blake was with me, and I was supposed to meet him at the car, and I didn't even get a chance to make it to the car. And then I think Blake just left.
I was this cameraman, hit me up, and he was like, hey, let's go to Siesta and film for the baseball video. I needed to.
Do you see how this is a reaction video, so I got to jump in and react to this stuff. And so do you see how they were going out together filming, and they were able to do that because they knew where each other were basically on the map geography-wise? And I think that that's a real game changer, is being able to know where other people are.
To be somewhere at a certain time. And so I was like, hey, Charles, like, we got to go. Do we have enough footage? He's like, yeah. I want to film this one more thing. He took the camera. He's like, I'll film it. You go to the car, get it ready, and then we can leave when I'm done. So I go to the car and I'm waiting. I wait 15 minutes and I'm like, man, where the heck is Charles? So I call him, text him, no response. I wait another 10 minutes. Call him, text him, no response. So I wait a half hour in my car. Charles knows people everywhere he goes type of thing. In my head, I was like, maybe he saw some friends, saw my texts, and was like, oh, I'm just going to go home with them or hang out with them or something. Or his phone died. I don't, honestly, what was going through my head was, I need to be somewhere at a certain time, and this cat isn't here. I'm going to leave him. Like, I have to leave. After a half hour, I call him and text him and go, hey, I'm your friend. I love you, man. But, like, I have to leave. If you're not in my car in another 15 minutes, I'm leaving you here.
What do we know now? We now know that if you don't meet me in 15 or 30 minutes, that you're probably in jail. It's gotten way worse since this video was made, however long ago it was made. It's gotten way worse.
I waited another half hour because I'm such a nice person. Around like 8 o'clock that night, I'm out with some friends, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. It went to voicemail because I don't pick up calls unless I like recognize the number. The number came up again, so I pick up. It was like, this is Sarasota County Jail. Do you want to accept this phone call from Charles Ross? And I was like, oh no. And so I pick up. He's like, hey man, I'm trying to get a hold of my parents. I have to pay to call people, so they're not picking up their phones. Can you call them and tell them I'm in jail? To make a long story short, he got in contact with his parents before I did. So that was the story from my end.
So that is all for our show tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you to the band.
Pan of the band.
We don't have a
Just
band.
Freaking pan of the band.
See you next time on vlogcreations.com.
So this guy's vlog creations? Oh, I guess he is good at making videos. He's been making videos for a long, long time. That intro is pretty shitty for a guy who gets, well, how do we know? You never know how he's actually doing unless a month ago he put a video out live, 6 months ago. Yeah, so it's just a really hard, doing YouTube is not, you have to make sure that you expand out to X. Hopefully there's new people coming from X, because we have to build, or we're going to be just cooked. So vlog creation is pretty cool. Didn't know that was a dude.
What do you need? Check my tank pressure. What? Check my pressure. Hey, you're moving forward. You're moving forward.
Market at 3rd Street in front of the convention center. They are currently moving eastbound. It looks like eastbound Market at 3rd.
So who are the good cops stopping him from just randomly shooting people in the face with a pepper ball gun? He's aiming at their heads. You see that? He's aiming at their faces. Well, they're laughing and having a good time. Those people are peacefully protesting.
I want that sign out of there, so I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get him to drop that sign. Bye.
That's just sick. If you've never been hit by one of those pepper balls, it hurts really bad. Paintball, forget that it's a pepper ball and has poison inside of it to hurt you. Getting hit with a paintball, period, hurts really bad.
We're getting a ton of traffic southbound on 5th Street at Liberty. Can we get some help?
I'm tired of this guy over here.
Wow, what an absolute psycho. Wow. But he wasn't charged with anything? He just got away with it? Nothing happens to that JBTP? A Louisville Metro police officer investigated for his actions during the 2020 protest. Dustin Dean fired pepper balls at Caitlin Russ, James Dobson, who worked for the TV stations. Dean said he perceived the light of their camera as a threat. Didn't realize they were journalists. Last Thursday, LMPD chief released his findings from an internal FBI investigation, found Dean's actions did not rise to the level of punishment. Dude, just the behavior that dirty jackboot thug pig exhibited was worthy of punishment. You don't shoot people in the face. You don't shoot people in the face. That was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. He was shooting people in the face with pepper balls and then laughing. And Oh, sorry about that. It just, you guys see that? It just whack. It just whack. That was crazy. Hopefully hopefully we still come back on the live on. Are we back? Sorry about that. I swiped and it just totally messed up. I'm so sorry. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. That was insane what just happened. It just decided to just swipe it shut real quick. That was so weird. Sorry about that. Anyway, what I was saying is that was absolutely disgusting to see that. Him shoot people in the face with pepper balls. That was absolutely disgusting. It is Friday night. I'm going to do a big trifold giveaway later tonight. I'm going to go watch the Tyson fight with some friends. But then tonight, I'm going to do a big giveaway on trifolds. I'm going to be doing a live stream. This is the beginning of building the wall for Constitutional Law Scholar, the teaching board that I'm going to be using over the next several months. I'm going to start building that tonight. I'm going to live stream it vertically. It's not going to be watching cop videos. You're just going to watch me slowly tape and paste. You'll see. You'll see. I'm going to show it tonight. So, but I'm going to get the flock out of here. You guys make sure if you order a trifold now, I'll give a trifold away later tonight for people for free to people because I want to give away at least 10 trifolds. V Boyer, love you. So good to see you. So good to see you. Claudette, good to see you. April, Spicy Peach, James Forbes, I Plead the Fifth, Chevy, Greg, Mikey, Bruce, Chuck, so good to see you. Rebel Studios, Ryu, Serious Audits, Life Under a Microscope. It's so good to see you guys. Bree Pennington, BZ Watchdog, thanks for the super chats. Rising Tides, Jessica Kerstad, Danelle Brown, Northeast Colorado Cop Block, Milena, Plead the Fifth. Love you, brother. Love you. Really. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Adam Claus, good to see you, my friend. Chris Beaumont, Claudette, good to see you guys. People over on X. James, nice to see you. Levi Audits, Don DeBomb, Joe W. Nice to see you guys, man. Jeff Bacone, thank you, Jeff, for watching over on X. I appreciate it. We're slowly but surely building up. Listen, I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'll be live tonight. If you guys want to watch something tonight, I'm going to be building something tonight. I'm just going to film it. I'm going to film it. I'm going to film it. I'm going to film it vertical, and I'm going to build this wall here. Beginning of Constitutional Law Scholar, the board game starts tonight. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Who's going to win, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? Mikey B, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Mike, Tower Time. Nice to see you, Tower Time. V Boyer, love you. Love you, hon. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. Stephen Miller, good to see you. Who's going to win? I'm just curious. Tyson or Jake Paul? I think Jake Paul's going to win. I'm on the record now. I've said it. I think Jake Paul's going to win. I think 58 is too old to be fighting. Milena, a lot of Tyson people. Well, you know, Tyson. Finally got a notification. Right on. I'll be live tonight, everybody. I'll be live tonight for several hours. I'm just going to go eat and watch Jake Paul fight. I haven't eaten in 2 days, so I'm going to go eat, watch Jake Paul fight, spend a little time with Charlie, and then I'm doing a live stream tonight from downtown LA. So I'll be here. All right, listen, I'll set up the live stream and I'll let you guys know. It'll be within about 3 or 4 hours from now. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Later, Gators.